Well, guys, oh, you're tilted. I'm at the property today. Still no driveway, but I'm planting because I have a few plants that really need to get in the ground. So here we go. Time for some spring planting. The weather has been amazing the last couple days, and I've had to wait till now because I've been about March. I really wanted to plant, and then I was like, no. Last time I did that, froze on me, and it did. So thank goodness I waited. But time to get the property ready, and there's a little bit of poison ivy in this area, so I'm gonna have to remove some of it. But the soil here is just, look at this. I am super excited. I have like amazing soil right now. I thought for sure I was gonna have really clay, and it is clay when I get further down in here. But the first several inches is this amazing just compost. And I know there are some pines, so I'm gonna have to be careful with some of it because it's gonna be really acidic. But other than that, I'm just worrying about moving poison ivy vines. But let's get to planting. Just started, and I found a little friend. Oh, and look, there was a yellow one not too far from this area, so I'm excited to have both species of these millipedes. Oh, there's another one. Hi guys, sorry to disturb your winter home. Time to plant tomatoes. Now these are not all the tomatoes I have. These are 4 of the very many I have. But I brought these. These are gonna be my I guess you could call them my sacrifice. We'll see how they do out here by their lonesome. Right now you can hear my road noise. Once the rest of the tree line comes on, the leaves, it's hard to hear that noise. But I'm just super excited about this soil. Some of the plants later on that I'll be planting, they will be planted on top of the ground with some compost added on, with a paper layer. But I was gonna use my compost at my sister's house, but unfortunately that compost isn't ready yet. I checked on it yesterday and it's got plenty of worms. Got a worm farm going. I think every scoop I had was just full of earthworms. It's in a container. I use a big black trash bag and layer my compost in it, or my kitchen scraps and all that in there with some straw, and some leaves, and then I'll put grass clippings in there. But right now, it is so full of earthworms. It's more vermicomposting than anything else. But there is a little bit of clay. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of clay mixed in with this soil. But other than that, the last property I was at, it was mainly clay. I had to literally work to put anything else in there. So this is going to be amazing soil. This is going to be so much easier to work with. And this time, I'm doing a little bit different. I'm planting them a little sideways. I don't normally do that, but with this property the way it is, I'm gonna have to plant a little sideways since this ground hasn't really been worked all that much. It's still forest and there's a lot of tree roots and things in here. But make sure these guys are in here good. And then I'll come back in. I've watered them really well before I brought them over here. And then this ground is super moist. I don't know if you can see that, but it's super wet. So it'll do really well. And I cannot wait for this to be my garden area. I've already started labeling trees that I'm keeping, and then the rest of this little brush stuff is gonna go, so I can really make this entire area my garden. It's probably gonna end up being about 1/4 of an acre once everything is all said and done. It'll have the greenhouse I'll be building on it, and then I'll have the in-ground garden beds, and then I'll probably do some raised beds probably next year. I probably won't start those until I can get the house or the driveway in, because bringing in soil right now, it's like today was too wet. I couldn't four-wheel it over the hump that's over here, so I had to or four-wheel drive it, I should say, over the hump. So I had to park on the road and then walk in. And so carrying soil all the way up the hill, nah. But let me get the rest of these plants planted, and then I'll be back with you guys. And that is the hazards. I did not see that hole. That was a good hole. Thank goodness for rubber boots. And that's the hazards of when you're working on property and maneuvering leaves around without checking your area first. All right. So tip 1. Check where you stuck your leaf pile before you step near it. I was moving some of the leaves out of the way and other smaller debris so I could plant. And then I was just going to take it and crunch it back up and move most of it back over as a mulch layer where my plants are. Fell in the hole. So, whoops. Thank goodness I didn't fall over. As I already have weak ankles, and that would not have been a good, would have been fun hobbling back down to the car. Especially when it's my right driving foot. I would have had to drive with my left. But, can be continued. Let's try this again. This is an experiment. So I stuck my peas on one side, put the paper down, in between and then put my tomatoes on the other side. So put my paper down with just leaves on it and some sticks, keep it from flying away. So we'll see if it actually works when I come back tomorrow, because it's supposed to rain about 2 o'clock today, and it is now about 11:30. So we'll see. Fun experiment. I found a yellow one. Isn't he gorgeous? I don't know if you guys can see him. But I've been digging around over on this side, and all those other ones were that beautiful red, and this is that yellowish orange. They're so beautiful. But as you can see behind me, I'm experimenting a little, and also so I know where I planted stuff, because I'll GPS it, but to make it easier on finding it again when I come back tomorrow, I've put the paper around it. But I did scare a turkey earlier. So that means there's probably either a nest somewhere nearby, or it's really neat to know that I have turkeys living around in here. So lots of different wildlife. I've heard barred owls. I've seen several hawk species. There you go, look up. And then I came upon quite a few footprints, and one of them, I'm not sure if it was a fox or not, so there could be a fox. Oh, there's a rabbit. I don't know if you guys can see that now. You can't see him. There's a rabbit over here walking in the forest. It tells me I've got rabbits, which I'm used to dealing with rabbits anyway, so. But yeah, beautiful bunny rabbit. Squirrel, sorry guys. But I'm in the process of clearing out another spot and putting paper down through everything, because it makes it easier for me to find it, and then too, it's going to keep a lot of the weeds at bay for right now. But yeah, so where I'm putting the garden right now, my mother's modular home will go right in this area here. And then when I decide to finally build, stuff is just so expensive right now. And until I can figure out how to build a log home out of my own logs by myself, or I don't really want to go the tiny home route because I need space for canning. And so it's a constant back and forth of, I don't know. I see lots of different plans I like, and then there's like bits and pieces of them. So whatever I do decide to do, it's going to be pieces of this, pieces of that, custom. Which I know is a little bit more than I could do right now. But let me get back to planting, and we can kind of hear the road noise a little bit, but other than that, it is just so peaceful out here. And once the rest of my leaves come on, I know when we start taking some of this tree line down to put her modular up, and then the driveway, it's going to increase some of the noise until I can get other vegetation back down in there to counteract where we took stuff out. But other than that, this is like the perfect location, because I plan to start growing more vegetables and flowers that I can potentially sell on the roadside here. Maybe a future flower bouquet bar in this vicinity back in here. But yeah, there's lots of possibilities with this just shy of 9.5 acres. And I can't wait to have you guys along for the ride with me as we develop it. So this is just the first little bit of planting on it. Besides the trees I planted, which reminds me I gotta go check those out before this rain starts. But yeah, it's coming along slowly. 9 months in the making. Well, August, so 6-7 months in the making, something like that. But hopefully soon we'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am so ready for this driveway to be in. One more survey, apparently. One more survey. Somebody forgot to put in survey. But anyway, thanks guys, and this may be the end, or I may bring you back if I find something else cool. So, ta-ta.